This is Brandy M. Miller with another dose of hope. And today's lesson is on toxic people and toxic situations and how to turn those to your good and transform those into things that benefit and bless you rather than hold you back and harm you. Because I want you to understand that there are two kinds of people in this world, there are rakes and there are seeds. Rakes are going to scrape against your heart. They're going to dig in. They're going to expose your soil, so to speak. And yes, they hurt. Yes, they cause suffering. Yes, they cause difficulty in your life, but they're not actually in your life to cause you harm. They're in your life because the master gardener, the Lord, wants to use them to open you up and prepare you for the seeds of love that He's about to plant in your heart. So they're actually there to benefit you and bless you, not to hurt you and hold you back. If you reject the rake from your life, your soil remains rocky and it remains hardened and it doesn't receive the seeds. They get choked out, strangled, or plucked away. You have to allow the rakes into your life in order for that soil to be tilled and made soft enough to receive the seeds of love. The other people in your life are seeds. Those are seeds that you are intended to nurture and nourish and cultivate. And eventually, those seeds that you nurture and nourish and cultivate will bring you an abundant harvest of good things into your life. The rakes are necessary to prepare you for the seeds. If you don't receive the rakes, you don't receive the seeds. It's the same thing with everything in life. There are people going to be placed into your life that seem toxic, that seem bad for you, that seem difficult, but these people are actually meant to prepare you for greater things. They are teachers, transformers. They are catalysts for your greatest growth. And without them, you won't ever achieve the heights of abundance that are possible for you. So I just want to encourage you in a society where we often get taught to kick out the things that are not pleasing to us, to kick out and cut off the people that hurt us and that cause us pain and that make our lives more difficult. That's counterproductive to your real growth. You see, growth doesn't happen when you're in your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when you're being fed cheers and admiration and everybody's telling you how wonderful you are. Your greatest growth comes as an offshoot of dealing with difficulties and struggles and suffering and hardship, because that's where you're forced to become your best. It's also where you become more aware of your own limitations and the areas in which you need to grow. Those people incite you to grow, those difficult, challenging people. So I want to encourage you, if you're in a situation where you're faced with a difficult, challenging person in your life, don't seek to escape them, seek to leverage them. Look for reasons to turn them over to God and ask for His help in understanding how to put them to use for your benefit. I'll tell you a story about a boss that I had in 2007. Now, this boss and I don't normally hate people, but when she walked into my life within 6 weeks of having met her, I can honestly say I hated her. I couldn't stand her. It may not have even taken me 6 weeks to determine that. She was the kind of person who wore the cross at her neck and the cross on her ears and had scripture plastered everywhere in her cubicle. But when it came to how she treated people, She was sweet as she could be. Honey could not drip from her mouth if she thought she could use you. And if she thought you weren't worth anything to her, she treated you like garbage. And I couldn't stand her. And I couldn't figure out why I couldn't stand her. And it took me a little while, but I recognized it was because of that hypocrisy of proclaiming so boldly that she was a follower of Christ, but not walking the walk, not doing anything that resembled that at work, at least. But when I took it up um, and reflected on it, it was pointed out to me by God. Hey, look, okay, you want to criticize her? Fine, criticize her. But how much are you doing? You aren't going to church. She is. You aren't feeding the homeless. She is. You aren't helping the youth. She is. If you're going to be complaining, you better be looking more closely at yourself. And it was honestly because of my struggles to get along with her. I had to get along with her. I didn't have a choice. I needed the job. Without her sign off, I wouldn't get my contract renewed. So I had to learn to get along with her. And it was in those struggles to get along with her that it caused me to be forced to take it daily to prayer. It was a daily battle for me to subject my will, to find reasons to stay positive and stay hopeful and stay on top of things. And honestly, it took a year and a half for me to get to this point. But at one point in time, I was taught by God, look, she is in your life to teach you, just like you're in her life to teach her something. She's in your life to teach you things. Be grateful for her presence. She's helping you, even if she doesn't realize it. She's helping you to grow. She's helping you to come closer to me. She's helping you to understand me better. She's helping you to become a better version of yourself. So rather than looking at her as a toxic person who is out to hurt me, I was able to look at her as a gift, maybe wrapped in some ugly, nasty wrapping paper, but nonetheless a gift of great value. And once my attitude shifted from resentment to gratitude, so did my attitude. Gratitude made for a better attitude. Gratitude made for a great attitude. I could approach work with joy because I knew that even though she wasn't going to change, she was going to help me become a better version of myself. And this is what I want to encourage you. Instead of looking at people around you as being toxic and negative and wanting to cut them out, look at them as opportunities to improve yourself and to grow in your capacity for love and to grow in your ability to find gratitude for even the worst circumstances. And when you can do that, you're going to find your life gets a whole lot better and that you're able to weather the storms of life with less and less trouble. You'll be more at peace. You'll be calmer. You'll be less anxious because you won't be worried about the people that come into your life. There's no one in this world that can be toxic to you unless you allow them to be. Everyone in your life is either a rake or a seed. Figure out what they are and deal with them accordingly. That's my daily message of hope. If you know somebody that could benefit from a message like this, I encourage you to share it. If you like this message and you'd like to see more, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. If you would like reaching out to me or asking me about toxic people and how to handle them, if you want to see more about that, put that in the comment section. Tell me about what you're going through and let me help you. I'm more than happy to respond to any challenges you've got. I'm more than happy to respond to any comments you have on the content. I know this is very contrary to what you're hearing in the world, but I really did feel it was pretty important to put out there because I think that we're missing a lot of opportunities for growth because we're cutting out the people that make us grow because growing isn't easy. Thank you for watching and have a very blessed and abundant day.